red jacket, you glad you dug my jive.
Have some of this hidey ho with me. Have some nicotine, it's a scream and it's free. Have it in your food, you can have it with your tea. As you're thinking and you're pondering and wonder what it be. Hidey ho is a Callaway vibe. Where you're hip and you're clean and you ain't taking no drive. Speaking of jive, I think I was on the label that was a long time ago.
All right. Welcome, Mouthhead Cigar Co. How are you guys doing today?
Doing great.
We've got a special one for you today. Caldwell came out with a brand new cigar from the Kid line, which is The King is Dead. And they call this the Escape Plan. And he's got 4 different sizes. Today we're actually going to smoke the Dry Bagger, which is the 54 ring, I believe it is. The difference between this cigar and the original King is Dead is instead he's changed the filler. So he kept the original Dominican binder and wrapper. And on the inside he's got Nicaraguan filler, Peruvian filler, and what was the other one? Oh, a little bit of Dominican filler too. So it should be a fun review. So let's check it out, guys.
Fun. Smoking cigars is fun.
It sure can be.
Cutting a pigtail off of a cigar.
Yeah, it's got a nice little pigtail on the end of this thing.
Yeah, I did not notice that before. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So the 4 sizes, I'll name them off. The King is Dead. Escape Plan's got the shortcut, which is a 5.5 by 46. They've also got the Grand Tour, which I have right here, which is a 5 by 54. Dry Bagger, which we're smoking, is a 6 by 52, and the plain Autopilot, which is a 7 by 48, which will be their Churchill version. So I did not get that size, by the way.
All right. Well, let's cut this thing and see what we get.
V cutter. Oh yeah, that looks good right there.
Hay and barnyard now. A little bit more of like the hay underneath the hay. The hay's been sitting there for a while.
Earth tones.
Oh, it's down here. Huh?
Moldy hay? No.
No.
Actually, yeah. It kind of has a little bit of that hint.
I'm kind of getting.
Well, that won't be good.
I am getting kind of hay, and I'm getting.
Ooh, I like that.
Don't say raisin. Don't say
That
raisin.
pull has a nice taste to it. No, I don't have any raisins.
It has. It doesn't like on the cold pull. It doesn't seem to have like you can't really feel the draw coming through that well. It's like
It seems like it tones down the earth tones.
a little bit.
Down the earth tones.
I'm getting raisins.
On the dry pull.
There's raisins.
Stop it.
There's nut. I'm tasting nut.
Yeah.
Honey
Nut in
roasted
here.
peanuts.
This has a very airy pull to me.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
Maybe that's what I meant. It's just it's so airy you
I'm
can't
with
tell.
you. Actually, yeah, I'm with
Yeah,
you.
it's not bad. It's not. I mean, I've come to realize I hate a tight pull. I'd
Right.
rather have something more airy than
Yeah.
tight.
Me too.
And no matter how much you like drill that thing, it just seems like it's a pain in the ass.
Yeah, me too. I'm with you.
All right, well let's light this up and see
Yeah.
what we
So
get.
this is the largest ring gauge of this lineup. So he's actually gonna continue these, but there's only 300 boxes of each size. You know that? That's kind of, they're a little bit limited. So if you have a chance to come get one, I do have a couple boxes still available. So
Cool.
well, you got some gloves today, don't you? That's wow.
yeah.
That initial light up is a little bit of a harsh flavor. It's like it's very earthy, but it's kind of it's different from from most of the Maduros and stuff we light up that are
Okay.
a little more on the sweet side.
Yeah, this is not a Maduro wrap. This
No.
is a Dominican wrap.
I'm really struggling to figure out what I'm tasting here.
I don't know, but I'm.
Ooh, I got a little vanilla right off the bat.
Vanilla.
Yep, slight hint of vanilla there.
He had a cinnamon roll before we started the podcast.
That's a tasty light up, to be honest with you.
It's different.
Vanilla cream, that's what I get. Just a little bit of a creamy taste to it.
Okay, I am not getting vanilla.
Definitely no pepper tones.
I get a little bit more pepper, but I always get pepper in the beginning.
Well, on the retrohale, yeah, it's like a white pepper. Not the traditional pepper, you know.
The black pepper.
Correct. That's a tasty, like a, yeah, that's a
Doc,
good,
what are you getting off that? You getting vanilla?
So right at the light up was just that hint of vanilla, but it's more like a cream taste.
Oh shit! I just got it. Yeah, it's a cream.
Yeah, cream taste. Yep.
Can't believe I got something to eat.
You guys are getting cream?
We're getting creamy.
Cream taste.
It's white cream.
That's a smooth pull, though. My goodness. Actually, that's pretty darn tasty. So, Doc, what did you bring us to pair? You make fun of me for my pours. Look at that. Jeez, man. He made fun of me for my pour. He's got a half glass there.
He's got a 4 ounce
Cheers,
pour.
baby. So, what are we pairing with this bad boy?
I am going with myself Pendleton's Military Edition, kind of since Memorial Day is right around the corner. With the fact that this has got a sweetness to the cigar, I wanted to bring just kind of a sweeter whiskey. Pendleton always obviously is known for that. Second is TX out of obviously Texas. That's a fantastic American whiskey. I believe it's a blended whiskey. I had that for the first time and was really impressed. And I just found it locally. That one's just got a really nice, pleasant taste. I'm drinking that. And then you're doing the Jameson Triple Triple, which is new to the States now. The bottle I have, actually, I got down in Mexico a couple years ago before it was even a thing here. I saw it, grabbed it, put it on my shelf, and now that we can start getting it, I figured why not? Because it's that one I brought here because it's got the 3 casks that it's sitting in, that the bourbon, the sherry, and then like a Malaga cask, which I don't really know what that is. So you're going to have that little sweetness. And so curious to see if it pairs well with a cigar.
So far, I really like it. This is delicious. So,
Rue, it's nice to see that you cowboyed up today.
yeah.
You got the cowboy hat and the garden gloves. You're ready to go.
It actually looks like those are like horse riding gloves.
They do kind of look
That's
that way.
what it looks like.
You got boots on? No, you got dress shoes.
Well,
So
anyway,
he's an imitation cowboy for the podcast.
just from here up, I don't have horses anymore, but I kept the hats. Because, I mean, I look really good in hats.
You look great, dude.
You know what else I look good in? Not wearing hats.
That's usually what you look like.
Yeah.
Put the hat back on.
Oh, sorry. Cover this thing up, darken the face, shadow.
Well, interestingly enough, I find this review is going to be kind of funny because I'm in the Bible right now and I'm reading out of Samuel 1, or 1 Samuel, I should say. And Saul was just murdered. So here we are smoking The King is Dead. And King Saul, who...
King Saul died in 1 Samuel?
Yeah, at the end of 1 Samuel. Yeah. Now he tried to kill himself. Is what happened. He laid on his spear, laid on his sword. But I just learned, I come to find out that that is not necessarily the case. After someone came and reported back to David what had happened, suddenly the guy that reported said, "Yeah, he didn't kill himself. I killed him." Because the guy was standing there and he was like, "Can you please take me out?" And I actually did not know that part of the Bible. That was interesting. So, but it was cool. Cool nonetheless. So,
Huh. Well,
but here we are smoking The King is Dead. And King Saul did not escape from that murder. So,
nope. And there's a lot of the Old Testament where the king dies. So this would be a great cigar to talk about.
what's funny about it is King Saul should have died many, many times. He was a really bad king, actually.
Yep. Well, he
But
started off
David-
really well. He was anointed by God.
Right.
But then he basically got really jealous of David. And once he became jealous, it just seemed like
It was over from there.
Yeah, it was-
exactly. I noticed that. But what's interesting is David had so many opportunities to take him out, and he just didn't.
Yep.
Like, he's like, "No, you were anointed. I'm not going to do it." So much so that when the guy that actually put his life away, or actually killed him, he saw him in the field. He was leaning on the spear, and he was dying. And King Saul was like, "Please put me out of my misery." The guy killed him, right? He goes back and tells David, and David was so upset that the guy actually finished him off. He kills that guy. So I don't know. That was a crazy part of the story. This is burning fantastic, by the way.
I feel like it's burning fast though.
Yeah, you might want to slow that down, but look how even that is.
Yeah.
That is nice. A nice.
Isn't too
burn.
bad for me. Do you want to share what's going on?
What's on the
Business as usual. Have a good night, man.
there's a button up on that, Tim, if you want to click that off. That's
all right.
probably the.
Hey, sales don't stop for nobody.
Yeah.
Podcast. We're still a business here.
There we go.
And which one did you sell him?
He was watching the podcast and he saw it, so he bought it, and so he's going to join us when he gets his car.
Is it live? Are we live? Oh.
We're not live today.
Yeah, take your thumb. I know it's pain
But
in
my
the butt.
suggestive sales sold one of our Cadwells right here.
Oh, our new ones. All right.
Huh, nice.
So we just sold one of these brand new Escape Lands. So.
Sorry for the inconvenience there.
I
So Adam,
really
hold on.
enjoy.
Adam, you're actually behind. I'm kind of. Why don't you give me your cigar? Take this one. I'll catch that one up to us, and then we can switch back.
Switch back. There you go.
I'll still finish mine before you.
Yeah, the
'cause
doc-
you're long-winded and you talk too much.
Homeboy, you never shut up. That was a rap song back like 30 years ago.
I've
Okay.
not heard that one.
Okay.
Dude, was that like MC Hammer?
30 years ago,
Ooh,
Chris,
no,
aren't you only like 40? No,
35 years ago?
Dude, I'm your age, actually.
no, you're younger than me, buddy.
Yeah, by what? 30 days or 3 months?
I'll be 47 in July. You just turned.
I just turned 46. Okay.
See, you're young.
All right. I'm young.
You're a young buck.
Yeah, but he doesn't have any gray in his beard, and you and I are like white.
I know. Well, dude, this came in like years ago. I've had white in my beard for a long time. The Jameson, this is really nice with this cigar. I gotta be honest. I'm pulling out note tones like crazy. This is kind of a dynamic stick. It is not full body though. I'm sitting at about mild to more of a medium. So at the higher end of mild and a lower end of medium.
I would agree.
I'm getting a lot of earth tones on this. Kind of hay, maybe a little bit of kind of nutty, like
You are.
I don't know if it's like a walnut or like
There's a nut tone, yeah.
just a little bit of a nut tone.
You're right. Yeah.
It's got a little pepper.
So I've read about
I get the nut. I see what you're saying.
boiled peanut. Is what was suggested.
That could be
Is
that could be
kind of
what
a-
it is. It's got a little bit of a nut tone. You're not getting a lot of the leather or like
no,
the
yeah.
cocoa or anything like that we normally get in a lot of the cigars we smoke.
But
it's
there's
very earthy.
And there's a sweet cream at the back of the palate that I really like. Man, this is tremendously good, actually. I wish it was more of a full body, but it might get there. We'll see.
I'm gonna say this TX pairs pretty well with it too because it's got a sweet note to it, and with this being very earthy, it kind of complements pretty nicely.
Cool.
Okay. Well, that's
You know, I'm actually enjoying the cigar a little more than I was expecting. I thought it was just like, all right, because the King is Dead. I've had that one in like what, a year or two ago, and I was
well,
like,
that's that's a Dominican Puro.
Yeah.
I like the Queen.
yeah.
Long live the Queen.
Queen.
Probably better.
Well, what's neat about this cigar is that it has Peruvian tobacco, which we don't get to experience that often, to be honest with you. Peruvian filler in it, as well as Nicaraguan and Dominican. So it has those. Robert Caldwell probably did a pretty fantastic blend here when he put those together.
Yeah. It's a little bit different than something I would typically choose, but it's pleasant so far.
It's a perfect burn. I'm not going to have to fix anything.
It is burning nicely. I've already kind of knocked my ash off once because I got up to serve a customer.
Yeah. Thank you for that, by the way. I'm going to continue to. I'm going to hold on to this ash here as long as Adam doesn't knock it out. But.
Let me shake her. Oh,
Thanks, man. Appreciate that.
You know what? We need to start all over with new
I
cigars.
really wanted to try to hold on to that. But that's all right.
I thought it was in your mouth.
No,
My bad, dude.
that's all
All right,
right.
I'll take that one. Start a new one.
Yeah, no kidding.
And I don't mind double fisting.
I'm gonna fire up another one.
Party foul.
No, I wanted to try one of the smaller ones, but it'd been a pretty quick podcast, I think, for us.
Well, I'm sucking this one down. Try not to, but
Yeah, you really are. Take your time with that. Retro hail, bro. Retro.
I am retro handling. I do nothing but retro.
Do you need some Doka in between?
Yeah. No kidding.
There we go. That would be speaking of like a fun podcast.
Lace this with a Doka leaf.
Well, I like the size. I really like the 54, 56 Toro size.
Toros
Seems
are right there. But Gordo and Toro gives you a little bit. I smoke them both in about the same amount of time, but the Toro being a little bit longer sometimes, it's and not so fat. I feel like it's got a better mixture of binder and filler ratio compared to the Gordo.
Yeah, this is actually the biggest ring gauge they make of this particular blend. They don't I wish they kind of did more of a 59, 60, 66. That'd be cool. But
I don't know how this would be if it was that big, because the flavors are already kind of, if you have more of a light to medium cigar and you just packed it full of the same tones of binder and filler, I don't know how pleasant that would be if it was that big of a ring gauge.
I could see a 60.
Maybe a 60,
rings.
but like he
60
was saying,
would
like 66, or like you're trying to go
You're
go
getting
bigger.
just filler though. Now,
Yeah.
granted, the Peruvian filler could
That could
be
be
a
fun.
little intriguing.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
But you'd have to be packing that pretty full.
because Asylum doesn't use that kind of filler, so Caldwell that would be kind of a neat one if you want to get into a larger size. What if it was like a 66 by 5.5? That'd be a pretty neat stick, actually.
Yeah, fat stubby.
Huh? Yeah.
No comment, Rue. His mind just went
Like
south.
giggling a little fat stubby. We said fat stubby. Interesting enough, I brought out
Roger on that one.
I brought out the,
He was thinking of himself.
because
I'm fat
I wanted-
and it's stubby.
I was actually thinking of you, actually, but
Oh man,
not because of that part, just because you're a Gordo.
I'm a Gordo.
Dude, you're a Gordo cigar. I'm a Gigante.
A Gigante.
And then you got the Lancero here.
I'm not a Lancero, man. Shit, I'm more like a Robusto, okay? And you're like Toro Gordo.
I think back before
He's a
you lost-
petite Robusto.
Yeah, man, what am I?
Toro Gordo.
I prefer Gigante.
Oh, you like Gigante? Okay.
But you know what? We don't see that in cigar names much.
Gigante?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of them.
Nuh-uh.
You're more of a Churchill.
A Churchill.
Aw. Dude, I'm
Dude.
thinking that's a compliment. I'm going to knock my ash off.
You're tall with
Yeah.
not much substance.
You're lucky. I really wanted to see how long I can hold on to that.
Wow. I mean, I'm not going to disagree with you, but still,
That's my bad, man. I didn't mean to knock it in your lap.
I understand.
There's a party foul with a cigar there.
yeah, you need to buy him another one.
Yeah.
You need to buy us. You need to buy a round.
I need to buy around.
So on the band, I actually really like the band. It's classy. He's got a picture of a throne with a couple lion's tails, I guess, and then of course the Caldwell biker, the bicyclists. That's pretty cool. It's all gold. It's got a dark blue. I decided to go with this ashtray. I don't have a Caldwell ashtray. I need to get one.
Yeah,
Robert,
Caldwell,
if you
why
want
don't
to
you
send
send
me
us
one, great. But this one here is the Asylum because we're talking about an escape plan. So I don't know. Just kind of figured something like that.
Well, this is the day after Mother's Day, so all you mothers out there, happy Mother's Day, if any of you are watching. We decided not to go on Facebook Live this time because the last couple of times we've had some technical difficulties. So we will be posting this as soon as the podcast is edited and thrown out there on all platforms.
Yeah, primarily YouTube. That's where we kind of go with.
But we're going to start working on Spotify.
Yeah, I've been told that over and over, and I need to get on board.
Okay, Spotify.
Spotify. Okay. It's just the audio though for Spotify.
Yeah, you got to do Spotify, but you got to make sure you share it to Facebook and generally because that's where we have your most
Yeah.
followers, and that is where the people who do join live tend to look for you. So
Real quick, I'm going to go with the Pendleton Military Edition. I think is
like that?
complimentary. Yeah. So it's just got that sweeter notes to the whiskey. It kind of pairs well with cigar. So you're looking at three brands that would pair well with the cigar.
The Jameson, is it triple? What's that?
The triple.
Triple. This is really good because I can taste all of the notes in this. This isn't fucking up the flavors at all. So I really like that actually.
I had the perfect pairing the other night on a cigar and a whiskey. I was smoking the God of Fire Series B, and we were drinking the Redbreast 12-year.
Oh my gosh, that was really
It
good.
was a perfect pairing.
Redbreast was amazing.
That was my first time having that,
Me
and
too.
it was smooth. And I like to normally put ice in my drink, but that there was good without it.
Good
Yep.
job, man.
I'm moving up in this
Look at
world.
him.
Yep, he did.
Hey, I don't have ice in this either, and it's pretty good.
I'm with it. You actually taught me that, Doctor. I appreciate that because I was putting ice if you look back at the previous podcast, I was putting ice in every drink, and now I don't use any ice, and I really like it that way.
To me, it depends on how much kick it has in the end. I mean, if it's something that is pretty harsh, high proof, that's going to burn my throat, I would prefer some ice to kind of open up the notes, kind of dilute it a little bit. And when I say ice, I'm talking about a big round ball to put in there that melts slowly.
Actually, lately, I've been putting a small ice cube into mine because depending upon what I have for dinner, sometimes I get a little heartburn. And if I put just a small ice cube in, it calms it down, and that way I can enjoy sipping it. It's like I go against my own rule, but at the same time,
Well,
drink it,
You're saving
enjoy it.
yourself for later, so you don't have to deal with that heartburn.
Yeah,
I'll tell you,
that makes sense,
that's no
yeah.
fun.
No, it really isn't. And
A good heartburn remedy, though, if you really got it kind of coming bad, is some apple cider vinegar. It may burn a little bit going down, but it will take that heartburn right away.
I love apple cider.
Really?
Yep.
Man, I used to do that religiously every morning.
I love apple cider vinegar.
I've gotten
That'll shed
away
the
from
weight
Yeah,
too.
if you're having some heartburn, try and drink a little bit of that, and that heartburn will.
Well, I'd
go
like
away.
to find some. I've been actually trying honey, but honey's not really doing it. Although I think honey gives me some other benefits.
Oh, honey's good for allergies
Yeah.
and things like that for sure.
I like doing it. I've gotten into honey here the last couple of years. I probably do it like several times a week.
I can't say enough. I can't talk enough about how well this is burning. This is burning perfectly.
It is burning really
And
nicely.
I love the pull on this.
It's got a good draw. You know, I don't think the notes are changing too much. I think it's staying pretty steady. But it's got a pleasant flavor.
It's got a really nice flavor to it. If you really retrohale and think about the flavors, I would say this is a somewhat dynamic cigar. There's a bunch of
It's
different-
definitely more of like a natural, like earthy, like
Earth
sun
tones, yeah.
grown. Like it tastes more like a sun grown. Like when I've had different sun growns,
Yeah.
it's got more of those type of notes.
I'm getting a bit of, and this was also another suggestive flavor, but you can almost taste that, the back end of cinnamon. Not a lot. There's some cinnamon cigars for sure, but if you just focus, if you think cinnamon, you'll pick that tone up lightly.
So I want to know, how does cigars
Yeah, just barely.
get their flavor? Like, you know, these notes that we're picking up, is it just because of the soil that it's grown in, or is there a way to like enhance a flavor in a cigar to make it get that? Like, I mean,
that's a science, man. We've brushed on that before. Yeah, the definitely the soils is one thing, and the parts and the leaves of a tobacco plant. You know what I mean? Like you got the top leaf, which is the Maduro, and as you go down, Sumatra and all that kind of stuff. But as you get closer to the earth, you get more earth tones. As you get closer to the sun, you get more sweetness.
So yeah, where the leaf is on the plant that you used
Right.
will give you some different notes. Okay.
Right. Now, Peruvian tobacco, I don't know much about. When I did some reading and research, there was a lot of white pepper, is what they call Peruvian tobacco. So now I am getting pepper notes out of this, and it's nice because it's not with that Dominican binder and wrapper. It kind of like hammers that pepper down, but you can almost get it on the retrohale. There's a little bit of pepper, and then it goes away. It's pretty cool. I like it.
When you're saying dynamic on the cigar, do you mean like it's got multiple flavors mixed in?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I would agree with that. I feel like when you're retrohaling, if you do a nice long retrohale, there's about
Yeah.
3 to 5 different
Yes.
notes that you can pick up depending upon where you're at.
You know, the guy that would just pick this up and just sit there and smoke it, like this would not be a golfing stick, in my opinion. The guy, because you're going to miss all those tones. But if you take your time, you retrohale, you have a nice drink with this, you're going to pick up some fascinating notes. This is a really cool cigar.
I would even go as far as to say this might even be more of an indoor cigar, because I know I smoke all the time outside.
Yeah.
Outside, you can lose some of the notes because of the temperature outside and what's going on. So this is a great indoor after dinner. Actually, it's not even hard. You probably don't need to wait until after dinner. You don't need to have a full stomach for this cigar.
Yeah, it's a medium bodied. Yeah.
It's very pleasant.
So it's a medium body with full body flavors. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know if I go full body, but just multiple.
Yeah,
flavors.
I'm not getting full bodied out of this.
No.
It's a straight medium.
No, I
medium
know
stick,
that.
but
What I'm talking about is usually with a full body cigar, you have that dynamic. With this gives you a lighted dynamic, like you said, but it's just a medium bodied stick.
the flavor notes are very defined. They're very strong flavors of what they are. But to me, there's not a lot of different flavors going on. But the ones that you are getting are very, very like pronounced.
And a very white ash. Look at that.
Yeah, it's a nice
beautiful
tight
ash.
tight burn ash.
I will definitely smoke another one of these. This is a really good one.
I do believe the vanilla cream was more in the beginning.
Yes.
I'm not really getting that.
That has
much
gone
now.
away. Yeah.
Still earth notes, kind of like that nuttiness that you were talking about, Adam. I still get that. I'm not getting cinnamon at all.
The peppers have picked up for me on halfway through here on the retro ale. And it's like I said, it's a mild pepper, and I really like that actually. So I had a close call today, and it was kind of one for the books. And it's a funny one because I was pulling out of an intersection. It was a 3-way intersection on Highway 26.
What were you driving?
My truck. And
Big F350 lifted with 37s.
thank you, sir. You're right about that. But anyways, it was in the morning time. I was just had my coffee. My dog's in the passenger seat. It's a 3-way intersection on Highway 26, which Highway 26, I mean, guys go 70 miles an hour on the highway all the time.
Go easy.
This was in a 45 mile an hour section. My light turned green, so I took the left turn. And I got to be honest, I usually pull out and I pull into the slow lane. When I take a left turn, I just immediately go into the slow lane. I always do that, which is the right side. For some reason, and this is bizarre, for some reason today, I was taking that left turn and I was like, nah, I'm going to stay in the fast lane and I'm going to use my blinker and get over in the slow lane. And as soon as I turned into that fast lane, this guy going about 60, 65, right by me on the right side. And I was like, whoa, geez, man. So I went over. It didn't even occur to me. Like I didn't even think about it until I got over to the right-hand lane. And I'm driving down the road. I'm like, where did that guy come from, actually? Like it happened so fast, and I didn't realize what had happened until the guy from behind me pulls up next to me, and he starts pointing and goes like this and points. And I was like, yeah, that dude flew through a red light is what happened. And had I pulled into that slow lane, I would have got smashed at 60 miles an hour for sure.
Well, he would have gotten smashed. You would have lost your hitch.
Or the front of my bumper. But that was kind of a close one. And yeah,
So
that was.
where on 26 is there? Are you being able to pull out into the right lane? Oh no, okay. I'm sorry. The right lane would be the slow lane
Yeah.
to begin with.
Yeah.
Okay, you normally go right to the.
I usually just make a left turn and go right into the slow lane. I always do that.
Is this up there?
Thriftway parking lot, or Thriftway intersection.
Oh, so that guy was coming down the mountain.
Correct. And he did not
okay.
know that it was a red light. And I had the full green.
Wow.
And he blasted that thing. And he was definitely going way over 45. Way over 45. He blew the doors off me. And it's funny because it happened so quickly that it didn't even register that could have been an accident. I was just like, whoa, that guy was flying. And then I thought, whoa, that guy was actually running a red light. It's a close one.
So, is there any rumors of new stuff coming out here soon?
New cigars and such?
Yep.
Yeah. Look, oh, there it goes. Just lost that ash there. Naturally. La Gloria Cubana is coming out with a new one, which I'm excited about. I want to try that. There's a lot of stuff. Alec Bradley has some new. You brought a cigar, Doc, called the Vandal. Is that it?
Oh, yeah, Black
Yeah,
Market
the
Vandal.
Black Market
Holy
Vandal.
Toledo. Have you smoked that?
I believe I have had one, and it's,
Dude,
it's
that
good.
was really freaking good.
Yeah, it was a good cigar. That's
It
what
was
actually I got.
haystack like crazy.
Yeah.
It was awesome. I
But
liked it.
you felt like you were smoking a darker cigar.
It was awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
I
fascinating.
like the Alec Bradley line.
Yeah.
When I first started kind of getting into cigars, the Alec Bradley Black Market was one that a buddy of mine kind of got me onto, and so I was smoking those quite a bit.
Well, the
original
that's
one.
banded like an Esteli, and
Yeah.
I was expecting something completely different. And when I lit that up and started smoking, I was like, "Holy Toledo! This is like the redheaded stepchild of the Esteli factory." It was
Well,
really
it's
good.
part of the Black Market line.
Yeah,
Because
Yeah.
they have like 3 or 4 of them. The Illicit, the Esteli, the Vandal, and I think there's another one.
that one the BAR, the orange box that I had. Yeah,
But yeah, it's funny for me, when I first started, I mean, I was all about like Deadwood Cigar Company and the sweeter ones.
Right.
And I tried Alec Bradley and I just wasn't into
no,
it.
you didn't like him. Yeah.
No, not at all. And then I kind of evolved, and now I have multiple Alec Bradleys in my humidor.
The Puck
and that
was-
one especially.
The Puck was really
The
good.
Puck's
the
a good
Puck.
cigar.
Yep. I was happy with the Puck.
In fact,
Although
I wouldn't mind doing a review on the Puck.
I'm gonna say the Flathead is
said Puck a
the
long
Flathead
time
is
ago.
the one Alec
ready
Bradley
for it.
cigar. Oh no, that's a CAO. My bad.
Which one? The Puck?
No, the Flathead.
Oh, Flat CO. Yeah.
Yeah, that's CAO. But no, the Alec Bradley. Yeah, the Prensado is by far my favorite.
I'll say this: our producer tonight, he smoked the CAO 660 for the first time today.
It's a great cigar. It's
a
a
good
95
cigar.
rated cigar.
Yep.
And I think that's the highest box press cigar that has ever made the list.
Yep.
For cigar aficionado.
I'll say Half Wheel gave this an 89, I believe, or an 86. One of those, 6 or 9. I could have got that flipped.
Yeah, from what I've smoked so far, this is definitely in the 80s. I don't think it's gonna kind of break that 90 mark, but I gotta wait till the end before I can actually.
Yeah, I
give
don't
a
know.
review.
There was another rating of 93, so we'll see here. I'm up there. This is, to me, this is a dynamic medium body, which is honestly hard to find. Give me a dynamic medium body. Give me another one. Like I can't even think of one.
Julius Caesar.
Yeah, you mentioned.
Bingo. Okay.
Julius Caesar was more of a medium to full, though. I think it was.
It was meaningful. Yeah.
Yeah,
you're right.
it was a little bit stronger,
a
but
Maduro
it
wrap.
definitely had better flavor notes. Like, I mean, that was a pretty
You're
stellar
talking about
cigar.
Troublemaker.
Oh, I'm
Damn.
thinking of Troublemaker. Yeah,
Yeah, that
but the
was
regular
good.
Julius Caesar.
Yeah.
I've had the anniversary stick, which was really good. The 50 year.
Mm-hmm.
That with the Opus X, they have a coffin box that they tend to do for a promotional thing every year, which is it's a good combo.
Yep. I don't know. For being a medium body, this has a nice sweet. There's a sweet end of the retrohale. Do you still get that? I wouldn't call it sweet cream, but it's like a. There's just a sweetness that keeps dialing back.
I'm getting the pepper at the end in the retrohale.
So I get the pepper on the beginning of retrohale, but not at the end.
Well, my ash is still holding on pretty nice here. It's not going to fall off because there's nothing coming my way to knock it over.
Nice. I see a little funny burn there, huh?
It's kind of burning a little bit crooked, but
Mine has not burned funny at all.
Yeah, this has actually been a good burn.
how tight the ash is, that's kind of a sign of a good, nice rolled cigar, or this is a box press. So when you can get a nice tight ash, and it tends to hold on for a lot longer.
Yep.
I would prefer a little tighter pull,
Okay.
but not much.
I could agree with you on that. However, I'm enjoying this a lot.
Yeah, I mean, this
but I'm with you.
isn't, like I said, I'd much rather have a lighter cigar than
Yeah.
a lighter pull than like a hard pull.
Yep.
You know, I had one of those a few nights ago, and man, I got the boring tool out and did it, and it just,
That sucks. That's one of the
does.
worst things in a cigar.
and,
Actually,
and it was a good cigar. I mean, I actually loved the flavor. It was actually Gurkha the Governor, and I really liked the notes of that. But it was like, damn, man, I'm like, and when you're pulling so hard, for me, it kind of starts burning the tongue because you're pulling so hard
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
get the smoke in there that it just seems like it.
The worst cigar I ever had for pull was the Island Jim.
oh,
Dude,
there was like a full box like that.
Original cigar, like it had great reviews. I go to try and smoke it, and I had to work so hard just to get that and light it so
they-
many times.
I think they fix it. When you grab an Island Jim that pulls well, it's really freaking good.
Yeah, and that's what I heard. I read reviews on it. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, this sounds great. And then I go to try one, and I'm like, I'm disappointed. I want my money back.
Yeah. Yep.
But for some reason, the stingy cigar owner did not give me my money back.
Well, he probably would have given you another of the same stick, and it would have been the same experience.
Yeah, so he just let me pay for one and called it good.
Everybody,
Yeah.
that's how it goes. It's a natural
Yeah.
commodity.
I know we've talked about good Connecticut's in here, and Island Jim has come up, and I finally bought one a few months ago, and actually had it. And I got to admit, I was pleased with
That's
the
a-
Connecticut.
The
That's
other
a great
Island
one.
Jim, the Connecticut one, was good.
That's what you just said.
Yeah, but what's the original one made of? That's not a Connecticut. There was two. You had two different Island Jims.
Yeah, so they make the Island Jim Maduro and they make the Island Jim.
So the Maduro was the one that
Maduro was traditionally like it's a hard
Yeah,
pull.
that
dude.
was the hard pull.
But I'll tell you, the last box of Maduros I had, they either fixed
were
that
good?
or that box was rolled well because it
Okay.
was really good. Because I had two of them. So I'm like, dude, there it is. That's what I wanted to taste right there.
If you have never been to a place that rolls cigars, most of the time you'll see it if you go to a different country and watch the people that they have sitting there rolling cigars. Man, it's a science. I mean, they do it fast. They pop
Yeah,
out
they're quick.
cigar after cigar, and they got the same amount of filler pretty much in most all of them. And I mean, it's impressive. And then when they let you go and try and do it, it's like
Takes you 10 minutes to roll
it's definitely not as easy.
one. No, it's not.
And
Yeah.
and when your cigar comes out lopsided and it doesn't
make
look
fun of
right.
you.
Yeah, they have to touch it up and fix it for you. I mean, they have special tools to make it like be cut perfectly and like there's the right size. But yeah, it's definitely an experience. So if you ever get a chance to go tour a factory or something where you could see something being rolled, it's a really cool experience.
So I'll say this is, I usually spit when I smoke cigars. That's just kind of a thing I do. This particular
chew.
one, I hawk two of those. I don't have to. I like this cigar. I can I don't have to spit on this one. I'll always be a Caldwell fan. There's a lot of different blends. I think you need to get into them a little more. The 3 Ts are very, very good. I'll bring those back in as well. But there's a
The
bunch.
King is Dead.
Long Live the Queen Habanos and
There's one that I don't think you can get anymore, and it was is it The King is Dead? And there was
There was a Long Live the King, but
There was
it
a
seemed
Long
like
Live
it
the
was a
King.
short run.
There was one that was a kind of a short run that was an excellent cigar. I can't even remember the name of it right now,
can't
but
remember,
I haven't
yeah.
been able to find it in years.
Yeah,
Long
so
Live the King and the King is Dead have just been okay to me.
they're Dominican cigars. That's why you say
Yeah,
that.
and then but Long Live the Queen, we did a review on that
That's
one.
a
I
great
remember
one.
really enjoying that one.
So the new one of Long Live the Queen has the Habano wrap, and I actually don't think we've had it in the shop yet. The one we did a review on was the Maduro, but the new one's a Habano wrap. So Mad Mofo just came out this year. So actually, let's bring that up. This is the new one for Caldwell, and they have a new one for Mad Mofo with a Habano wrap. We should try that one next time too.
So I got a question for you guys. What type of cigar would you say, if you were choosing, would be at the top of your list? Would it be like more of a Nicaraguan, a Honduran, Dominican? Where, like, if you're picking a cigar that you know nothing about based on origin, what do you guys tend to lean towards?
I'll go Brazil, man.
You like Brazil?
That Brazil tobacco is, dude, that's like anything else, or like nothing else I've ever smoked. That Brazil.
The
stuff is
Brazil.
really good.
I've really come to like Honduran cigars.
I know, I'm with you, though.
Some of those
Honduras is
Honduran
second
cigars,
place.
they may not be as peppery or as full flavored, but they tend to have just a great draw, and they burn really nicely.
So I've smoked a few Cuban cigars, and I think the Honduras tobacco is like the closest thing you can get.
Yeah, I would
to
say
Cuban
I would
tobacco.
say it's closer.
It's really good. It's very smooth. So when you smoke a lot of Dominican, it starts all tasting the same. Same with Nicaraguan. You get the pepper flavors. Now you need to, when you do that, swap over to a Honduras Puro like leaf, and it'll blow your socks off.
Some of the Dominicans though, like if you get into like some of the LFDs and stuff, oh
Yeah.
man, those are
Yeah,
great.
LFD.
And the Auroras,
Yeah.
man,
Aurora Cubanos, yeah.
yeah, some of those cigars are they're just so. The flavors just kind of come out. But the one thing that you find with a Nicaraguan cigar is that it will be in almost all of them is the pepper note.
Yep.
If you want something spicy or with flavor, that's kind of what you're looking at. Is one of those.
So if you want to add strength to your cigar, you literally put Nicaraguan
Some
tobacco.
Nicaraguan, yeah.
Yep. But with Nicaragua is going to come your pepper tones. So
But then you get some unique places like Brazil. They have their tobacco. You get the Amazon basin, and you get the
great cigar.
You get what is it?
Mexican tobacco is really good too.
yeah,
Absolutely. Colombian.
The wrap. What is the one I'm thinking of? The Mexican wrap.
San Andreas.
The San Andreas.
San
Yes,
Andreas.
that San Andreas, man. That is a great. That changes a cigar like a lot.
Well, I'm sitting here smoking this. This has Peruvian tobacco, and I can tell. Like, this has got some dynamic flavors, and I'm kind of a fan of Peruvian tobacco because of the cigar all of a sudden.
I'd like to try an American Puro cigar.
The American by CAO is all American tobacco.
Is it?
Yes.
And that's a great cigar.
Aside from the Nicaragua filler, of course.
Okay, so that
guess
changes
it's
things.
not- yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
It
no,
changes
but
things, you're right.
but that is actually really good. The Gordo size in
Yeah,
that
is
is
awesome.
great.
Yeah, I like that one.
It's a barber pole cigar,
Yep.
and it's full of flavor.
Yep.
So what would you put as a filler for an American cigar?
I don't know.
That's hard to say.
Most of the time, when you hear about American tobacco, it's the Connecticut
know.
wrap.
Yeah, that's
so
famous.
I don't really know if there is any there's got to be binders and fillers that you get from here as well.
Surely it's got to be out there. There's got to be an American Puro.
Maybe we're gonna have to do a search and see if there's something
American
out there.
Puro. We need to find out.
It'll be
Yeah.
bland.
It's just a light stick. We're like, yeah, cool.
It's called a cigarillo.
To answer your question before I had to tickle my throat, I had to leave. I'd like to have a cigar that is a Nicaraguan filler, but a San Andreas wrapper, and then the binder can be whatever. Just because I like the kind of intensity that a Nicaragua filler brings, but I like the the notes and the tone of what the San Andreas has as a
I
wrapper.
love San. That's probably my favorite wrap. Now, if you're what you're talking about is Rocky Patel does a lot of that.
Actually, I just got I think this week I'm getting a Rocky Patel. I showed it to you.
The green one.
No.
No.
No, that's-
It's the
Oh, the
San
Edge.
Andreas.
He's getting-
no, not the Edge. It's a Rocky Patel San Andreas Toro.
yeah, you showed me that. Yeah, I haven't tried that yet.
Yeah, so I'll be getting that one this week, and I'd be curious about that
For
one.
whatever reason, I think Rocky Patel has the best San Andreas. It's one of the best ones I've ever smoked.
Gurkha has the Hudson Bay, which is a San Andreas wrapper, and it's got really good notes, but the one I have is really airy. It's stupid airy.
Yeah, I do
Gur-
not like Air cigars.
Gurkha is one of those cigars that has been around for a long time, but it kind of gets a little bit of a bad. I wouldn't say a bad name, but it just they have so many different
Say when.
cigars in their lineup that it's
sir.
and it's so hard to tell. Like you can't.
So from a brick and mortar,
Yeah, for a brick and mortar standpoint,
it's
Gurkha is a tough.
it's tough sell. You can get a lot of Gurkha online. Unfortunately, I wish Gurkha would kind of like steer away from that. So it's hard to compete, but Gurkha is, depending on. What
I'm not going to say it's a value cigar,
yeah.
price wise, but
Yeah.
they just have so many different cigars in their lineup that
Yeah.
you can't like pinpoint. Oh, most Gurkhas have this in it because they mix them with so much different stuff that it's
Right.
like it's hard to like pinpoint like what a Gurkha tastes like.
I know. You know who does that a lot of is Punch too. Punch does that
Yeah,
a lot
Punch,
too.
yeah.
Which I no Slam and Punch. I really like some of the Punch stuff, especially their limited releases. Man, do you remember the Year of the Dragon?
Yeah,
sucker
that was a good cigar.
Jeez, and then
The Firecracker.
Firecracker was good. Dad Bod. That was one of my favorite punches that ever came out.
Dad bod.
Dad Bod. It came in a little beer can. It was a 5-pack.
Yeah,
And it was
I
a
don't think I
Figurado.
don't think I ever had that one.
Dude, it was really good cigar. And I thought I had 5 more, and it was funny. I walked over to the cabinet, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna try one of the Dad Bods. I opened the top, and I'm like, they're fucking gone. Like, all of those were sold out. I'm like, dang it. It was a good cigar.
I've been ordering some Gurkhas lately. I think I got the Gurkha Beast coming as well.
BMC has one called The Beast.
Right?
Yep. We should try that again, actually.
Did you ever smoke the 125th anniversary Gurkha I gave you?
Probably not.
It's a Gordo. It's a bigger cigar. That's actually a really good, good smoke. And I really liked the case the box that came in. It looked like an old school kind of a treasure chest. It almost looked like a humidor. It was kind of like the shape of a humidor, but it had these metal label and pieces all around it. So it looked really cool.
Ooh, that's okay. That's elevated a little bit. What did I pour here?
That's the Pendleton, right? You just
Pendleton
pour-
Military Edition.
Okay.
Yep.
That's nice. That's got some good. I honestly, the triple was a really good pairing with this cigar, but I can see that being a little bit better. The Pendleton.
I really feel like the pepper has picked up in the second half of the cigar.
I'm getting a little bit more
pepper going on. I'm not getting any sweetness now.
It's funny. I don't. Yeah, the sweetness. Well,
No.
the sweetness is still a little bit there for me. But
I haven't really got any sweetness in my cigar at all. It's just been all natural, earthy tones.
So that might be something that you're drinking. So you're drinking the TX?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I had it in the beginning. I had that vanilla cream that you're talking about.
Okay. You had
Yeah.
TX in the beginning?
No, I've had Pendleton Military Edition the whole time.
No. What I'm saying is the reason why he's had the same
Oh,
flavors all the
right,
time,
okay.
maybe because of the TX. I don't know.
Yeah, but I would think based upon the TX's profile, I would actually think that you would get more of the sweetness.
But that's a
of the-
sweeter drink, right?
It is.
So
You're
it may
saying
be
that the
taken
sweetness-
away. It may be taken away from it. Whereas the triple, I feel like I was able to experience all the flavors of this stick. Honestly, even with this, the Pendleton is maybe a better pairing, but there's more flavor in that than the triple. So
So I did a good job pairing tonight.
absolutely, I think you did a
Sweet.
great
Doc,
job.
you always do a good job pairing.
Thank you.
Yeah,
You were
I,
like
we have
the
to
liquor
thank you for
store.
that.
You just bring it all.
Yep. I don't know what I'm doing, so you bring it, and
I'm gonna call you the liquor man.
Liquor Man. Dr. Liquor.
Look at man.
Who'd you lick?
Huh?
He licked her.
But who's her?
Whoa,
The wife.
whoa.
I can only say the wife.
Yeah, today.
Yeah.
He's safe.
Yeah. My wife said I can't say anything else. I tell you what I love. It doesn't happen very often, but I've said multiple times how I have my whole like mitigation process at night after a cigar to kind of cleanse everything, clean up my face,
Yep.
all this. But
Jameson.
I love when I'm done a cigar and a pairing at home, and the flavor in my mouth I don't want to change.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That is just
Then you know it's
wonderful.
good.
It's like it's perfect. It's like having that steak with that garlic butter,
Yeah.
and you're eating, and you're just like, I want to just hold on. I don't want dessert.
Yep.
I don't want anything else.
Do you
Yep.
guys ever have a cigar that you know when you smoke it that no matter what you do, that flavor is going to stick with you all night long?
No,
I've had a few where I've smoked and I'm getting ready for bed and I brush my teeth and all this stuff and I wake up in the morning and I'm like, man, I still got that.
Really? Oh, man.
I got some of that flavor.
I would probably say the Corojo 99 by Agnorsa Leaf is going to give you that impact. That is probably the strongest leaf out there. The Corojo.
If I smoke a Man of War late at night, that one will do it to me. The Ruination 10th anniversary.
That's a good one.
It's dark, and that one there, the flavor just kind of sticks with me.
I think this is probably the best Caldwell cigar I've ever had.
Really?
Yep. This is up there for me. The pull. This is like a beautiful pull, beautiful construction. The flavors are even though it's a medium body, the flavors are really good in this cigar.
It's dynamic for a medium cigar.
Yeah,
I'll,
exactly.
I'll give you
Yeah.
that.
Now give this a Maduro, which I bet you is coming. I bet you anything that's coming.
I would enjoy a Maduro.
A Maduro would be awesome, dude. That'd probably slam it out of the ballpark.
I think this is a good cigar for Caldwell, but I'm still going to probably say Long Live the Queen would be the one I would choose.
Yeah, I like that too.
With this being a close second.
I like that
And
too.
I think kind of like to your point, starting to go through the Caldwell lineup, yeah, I think we'll probably find other
Long
ones
Live
that
the
we're-
Queen, I think I kind of put up there too. That's one that's kind of stood out to me.
We need to try the Habano version. We haven't done that yet. We just had the Maduro version.
So Doc, those gloves, are they making your hands more sweaty than your leather gloves?
So ridiculous.
Are your arms sweating, dude?
No.
I mean,
like,
you got
No, but right now I feel
you-
really protected in case I decide like at any moment to go mess with blackberries.
Or try to bucket.
You're making that fist right there, and it's got the knuckle things
Yeah,
head up
what
to
is that?
put some jewels on
It's
it.
a little elastic.
He wants to put some
okay,
jewels on there and have his.
What's up with the palm? Why is the palm all shiny and stuff?
Well, these are actually gardening
They,
gloves.
they look like
literally
blackberry.
gardening.
Like you're gonna go
Blackberry
pick some
pickers.
blackberry
Yeah.
Well, it's
bushes.
kinda
That's
one
why
of the
you have
reasons I
them
got
going
them
all the way
is
up.
that-
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I mean, they're a pretty thick, maybe probably fake leather, but
He's
they're
wearing
pretty
pleather.
thick.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is.
Well, I'm not a real doctor, so I can't afford the real good stuff. I will say it's a little bulky for these gloves for what I'm used to smoking with those leather gloves. But
So the bottom end of this cigar kind of flattens out. That's kind of disappointing, I suppose. Where are you at with that? You still got another.
I got a little
inch
bit.
and a half or so. Yeah.
Yeah. I had to take a couple minute break
No,
and
I'm gonna
help a
disagree.
customer.
mine is still very peppery.
Pepper. No, I got the pepper tones, but it flattens out with the dynamic flavors.
I just think I don't think it flattens out. I just think the pepper is the overwhelming tone note.
Still really good. Mm-hmm. And mine's burned. I did not have to fix
Well,
this.
do we want to rate these since you guys are pretty much done with them?
Yeah, we can go through that. Yeah.
Doc, let's start with you.
Well, a lot of what we talked about between the dynamic aspect, the medium body to it, the comfortable pull. Like I'm going to go with a 90. I don't think it's an 80 rated or anywhere in the 80s. I think this is a 90 rated cigar. I think you'd be very happy if you picked this one up and smoked it.
I'm going to agree with you. Do not pick this cigar up and just like go golfing or sit in your back porch and just start smoking and drinking. If you focus on this cigar, you take your time with it. Pick one of the drinks that we've paired with it. Actually, I'm going to actually give this a 93. I really like this cigar. The pull was incredible. The flavors were dynamic enough for me to elevate this to a 93. So that's where I'm going to stand with that.
I'm going to have to disagree with him as far as not taking this if you're a golfer and going out on the course, because he doesn't really golf. He golfs a couple times a year, and any cigar is good to take out on a golf course.
Says the golfer.
So
Said the golfer.
said the golfer.
Right, said the golfer.
And I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna give it probably an 87.
Really?
I think
Wow,
it's
that's low.
An 87?
I think it's good, but I don't think it's great.
Okay.
I mean,
fair enough. man.
The flavors are they're very strong flavors, but it's just it's not as pleasant. Like, you know, it needs a little bit more. The flavors are just it's a little too earthy. I need a little bit more to it.
Interesting. So you gave it an 87. You gave it a 90. I gave it a 93. So that's
So
going to
we're-
average out to a 90.
So it still works out to 90.
All right.
It's still a great cigar. What's the price point on the two that you have in stock here?
So the Grand Tour, which is the smaller version, is $15.50, and the actually I want to bring this up. The what is this called? The Dry Beggar is $16.60. I had to look this up. What do you guys think Dry Beggar means? Give me your thoughts real quick.
It's a beggar who doesn't drink alcohol.
Okay.
I was kind of leaning kind of similar to what that was, but a dry beggar. I don't know.
how you said that.
I was kind of thinking something about
Okay.
on that line.
It's not. So a dry beggar is someone who begs and doesn't disclose what they're begging for. So someone
Rue.
like a beggar, like Rue. No, a beggar is someone who, hey, I need some money, I need this, I need that, right? A dry beggar is someone who's begging for something, and you know they're begging for something, but they don't disclose it. That's what a dry beggar is. Interesting. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and we'll catch you on the
Thanks,
next one.
guys.